Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We rewrite the rules. The countdown has begun. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, yay, hey, hey. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading our way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day. It's a great day to finish this week with a little wistful nonsense. Do you agree?
I agree. I'm just happy it's Friday.
Yeah, me too.
Friday.
The word zippity-doo-dah, kind of happy sounding, right?
Yes.
Any idea who, in using the word invented, is maybe a better word to use, but who invented that word? Zippity-doo-dah.
I couldn't tell you. Disney?
It was the one and only Walt Disney. He liked nonsensical words.
I was right. Oh my gosh.
Words used in songs such as Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo from Cinderella, 1950. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Right.
From Mary Poppins, 1964. Back to Zippity Doo-Dah. Tell me where it was first used.
It's
a song composed by Allie Rubel, the lyrics by Ray Gilbert for Disney's 1946 live-action animated movie. He mixed live and animated stuff together in a movie called Song of the South. The song was sung by James Baskett. Another word used in that movie, I just used it here, it'll likely become part of my vocabulary simply because I like it. I like the way it sounds, and it can mean anything that I want it to mean.
Do you know it also
Satisfactual.
won an Academy Award for Best Song?
Satisfactual. Guess what happened on this date? The year was 1955.
1955. I wasn't around. I don't know.
Disneyland was opened up.
Oh, Disneyland.
160 acres of former orange groves. That's why the price of orange juice went up.
Have you ever been?
Yeah, once.
I've been several times when my daughter was little.
On California?
No, Florida.
I'm talking about the real Disneyland.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. It's the original, the one, the only. Everything else is plastic.
That's just wrong. The one in Florida, I've been there several times.
Once was
many
enough.
years ago.
Once was enough in Florida.
It was fun. It was nice, and my
Fun to
daughter
drive
enjoyed
away.
it.
I
Yes,
enjoyed every minute of it as I drove away. Whew. My day already feels better, though. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown, and this is live and local, real, satisfactual talk.
And good morning. And I have to ditto. We are live and local.
Dang right.
Real talk here every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And I am Lee Burrows, and I am so glad it's Friday.
Yay. Hey. We're here. I'd love to hear from you. I've read some of your comments and stuff like that after the show, but you know what? Yeah. That's a long time after the show, and I don't even remember what we were talking about or what they were related to.
Well, don't stop making comments now.
No, don't stop.
You to call.
I want you to call.
Oh, I had a call yesterday, maybe having one of our listeners calling in today. They tried yesterday, but they're working, and a lot of people just can't.
Wait, don't let work get in the way of a good time.
It's Friday. Everybody gets off early on Friday.
Everybody's already off all day long on Friday. They just may be at work, but they might not be working.
Yeah, the traffic wasn't as bad this morning. But sometimes it can be a difference of 5 minutes when I leave. So, but yesterday, whew, I left Jacksonville about 5 o'clock.
In the morning?
No, in the afternoon,
Oh.
early evening. And Gun Branch Road was just bumper.
You should have known better, girl.
But you know what? I've gone the other way. I've gone 24 to 258. And when you get to that stretch before you hit Richards, Rayford, it's just as bad. And they're
Take
crazy.
17 all the way out there to 53 and then
I
get
will
on
not
53
drive
and go over to
53.
I-40.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, it was fun.
I will not drive 53.
Never had any trouble there.
You can take, and plus it's longer. And not only
It's
that, but it's
faster.
2-lane roads.
And it's faster.
And nope, it's never been faster for me. It's always
Because
taken
you
the
just don't
extra
know how
time.
to drive it.
Well, I have to drive the legal limit.
Pick two.
The legal limit, or close to it. But no, I do not travel 53. And then getting to 53 at that time of the day is crazy too. If I've gotten that far, I might as well go 258. I don't care for 53 at all. Nope.
Too bad.
That's like traveling 258 to Kinston.
Well, you could take 17 and go up towards Vansboro and come around and back and down.
And that's a lot longer. A lot longer. I came back from Greenville one time.
There are no good ways to go to Greenville, and there have become no good ways to get to Wilmington.
I do 258 to Greenville, through Kinston and Greenville.
I know what you do.
That's a lot faster. But if you go up to New Bern, that's an extra 30 minutes for me to go that way. So, nope.
Then I just don't go.
I have to go. But anyway.
What's going on in your world?
I have to tell you something funny that I saw last night. I was in Sampson County, and I'm coming through.
That is funny.
Yeah, they're nice people.
Yes.
I was coming through Turkey, North Carolina.
Yeah,
You know where
I've been
Turkey
through there
is.
many times. There's a little crossroads.
It's Highway 24 back to Jacksonville, but
It's
right there.
Turkey's on what, 111?
No, it's on 24. I'm talking about you going to, right before you hit Clinton. You got that little stretch that's called Turkey.
There's a Turkey on 111, too.
No, we're not there. We're on the Turkey that's in Sampson County.
This is the Turkey on whatever it is.
Anyway, coming back last night, I saw these guys trying to put a refrigerator, and I would say the refrigerator was probably 5 foot tall, and
they were 4'3".
They were trying to put it in the back seat of a sedan, Rayford. And I'm like, what are you? 4-door sedan, and there's a couple guys, and
It
they're
was a regular
trying.
size refrigerator.
No, it was about 5 foot high. It was not regular size. It was, but it was
Apartment size.
I would say apartment size. It was not college dorm size, but it's and I'm like, that's not fitting there. It was so funny watching them trying to wedge it in the back seat.
And they weren't going to have it sitting straight up because what happens after that, right?
Why not just tie it to the roof? I mean,
Either way, you're going to have it laying down, and that's not the way you transport a refrigerator.
Regardless of the fact of how they're transporting it, trying to put it in the back seat of a sedan, I'm like, just keep going, lady.
Maybe the air conditioner was broken in the car.
I don't know.
Did you see a long extension cord coming out of it?
I just saw the refrigerator, and I'm just like, what are you doing? I kept going.
A lot of stuff happening out there. We're going to start with that fire at a home in Surf City over the 4th of July weekend.
Oh, no.
It just wouldn't die. Firefighters returned to the scene yesterday to knock down flames that apparently rekindled during the pre-dawn hours of yesterday. Fires in homes like this one can harbor hot spots buried deep in the rubble for long periods of time. You can put tons of water on it. You can saturate it. You can do whatever. You can go pull it up. And I've watched firefighters pull the debris, burning debris up, and you get down to underneath it, and then there's always going to be something hiding. And then it settles and hides underneath that rest of that debris. And then it gets warmer and warmer, and then it rekindles for no reason. It could be a little wind gust or whatever that sends it blazing away. I saw
they had the street blocked off again yesterday.
Yeah, under the right circumstances, including increased breezes, and it doesn't have to be blowing a gale. Those hot spots can reach flammable material that has dried out from the thorough drenching that firefighters gave the blaze in the first place. Thus, it blazes up again and could, no doubt, do it again and again until the site is completely cleaned up or there is a heavy rainfall. Now, we could get one of those.
Yes.
I'm not counting on it because they keep hedging their bets.
Well, between Sunday, this coming Sunday in the afternoon, evening, through next week, we should have hopefully some good rain.
We shoulda, coulda,
We
woulda.
should, yeah, I know it. You know, and you talking about that fire rekindling, I am just so grateful and
Nobody was
glad
hurt.
that the 4th of July that we didn't have more fires
Yeah.
because people were shooting off stuff.
Still don't know what caused this fire.
No.
I mean, it was in the middle of a lot of local fireworks, people shooting their stuff
Right.
off. Folks, people don't realize how dangerous that really is, not only to people, but to, most of this roof here is not a metal roof. There's a thing called asphalt shingles.
Mm-hmm.
Asphalt shingles are made out of petroleum products.
Oh, yeah.
If you've never thrown some old asphalt shingles on a fire, they burn hot. They burn like crazy. That's the way it is. And little fireworks go up in the air, and some of that kindling comes down to stuff that's still hot and sets those roofs on fire. That's a mess. Just leave it to the professionals somewhere out there. Y'all are not good enough. I don't care how good you think you are. You're not good enough. As dry as it's been around here, we're lucky we didn't have a lot of wood fires.
Oh, yes, we're
Because
very lucky.
those things go up, they come down, land in the dry bushes.
Yes, we are very, very
we're,
lucky.
We're very, very, very lucky this time around. Because I expected that one. But anyway, okay, enough preaching.
Here's a headline right here on the news. Top drunk driving lawyers. Why do you want a lawyer that drives drunk?
Because he's experienced, he knows what it's like.
It's just the headline somewhere they posted that. It's a list of lawyers if you
specialize
need one.
drunk
It specializes in
driving cases.
drunk driving cases, but it's crazy how they just threw it out there. Best drunk driving
We wonder what
lawyers.
makes them special in those kinds of cases. Is it the way they argue the case? Is it the way they, I don't know.
Looking for all those loopholes.
Looking whether not really a lot of loopholes out there is questioning the evidence and the obtaining the evidence and stuff like that they do, and they have a knack of, especially if you get to a jury trial, of confusing a jury. And, confusion is our most important product. And I understand that. They're doing what they can to get their client off. Anyway, it is. That's what they do. You've got those that specialize in murder cases. They don't have to be trained killers to be able to, try murder cases. But we've got it right here in Jacksonville. They only do, I think one of them only does capital cases, right? Or at least first degree cases. So there are those who with specialties. You've got civil lawyers, those who specialize in divorce cases. Oh, God help you, bless you. You're gonna have clients forever. Let's just put it that way. Divorce cases, women, females generally, I've noticed, go get male lawyers. Males go get female lawyers. Have you ever noticed that?
Not really.
Yeah, in watching the cases in Wilmington, that would seem to be the way things generally went.
I did a lot of private investigations back in the day,
Mhm.
and a lot of mine were domestic cases.
Mhm.
And I had to go testify in court, of course. And usually it was female lawyer, female client, and male. And here, the ones that
Yeah,
I worked
I
on,
understand.
yeah. But
I noticed those in Wilmington. It was just the women wanted a go get a male lawyer, and I don't know. I really wish I had pursued that and started asking questions. It would have been a pretty good story.
Right.
What would be the reason that they would do that, you think? What kind of excuse or reason would they have for wanting to get a male lawyer as opposed to a female lawyer?
I don't know. Another good question is females who have doctors and go for their yearly physical that are of the childbearing age. Let's just say it that way. And some women prefer a female doctor over male doctors, but I know some women that prefer a male doctor over female doctors. So I guess it's all just
Yeah,
your preference, how you feel.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, if you know an attorney here that is a female and based, but her reputation is more based on being a shark than it is being a female, then I don't know, Rayford.
Sure.
People,
Are we talking about doctors now, or
no,
you're talking lawyers?
People know who I'm talking about.
I got confused. We went from one to the other. We're talking about
No, I said
gynecologists, and
lawyers.
then all of a
I
sudden
went
you
back
talk
to
about sharks, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
No, I mean I'm comparing the
Yep.
females with their preference on doctors and females with their preference on lawyers.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, this dude's labeled a man, and that's because he's 18. That distinction is going to mean a whole lot for Devin Graham from Hubert. He's been arrested for a series of car burglaries, all in the Maple Hill area. That's like 20 miles from where he lives. Last month, Onslow deputy sheriffs were called to investigate 9 car break-ins. The investigation turned up evidence, including information that 2 people wearing ski masks broke into the cars and stole several items, including a gun. Stealing a gun, nothing like stealing a gun, making something turn really, really serious.
Goes wrong.
Graham was charged Monday with 9 counts of breaking and entering a motor vehicle, 11 counts of conspiracy, larceny of a firearm, larceny in general, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Where did the minor part come from? Because his partner in crime was a 17-year-old boy who was also involved, and he was taken to a juvenile detention center in Castle Hayne. That's just outside in Wilmington. Graham was jailed in the Big Boys Detention Center under a $15,000 unsecured bond. This is likely going to be the last time I can check his criminal history in North Carolina and find that he has no convictions. Up until now, anything that happened as a juvenile is not for the public to see. We don't know what his record was, if any, prior to this 18th birthday. From this day forward, young man, if convicted of the crimes as charged, the young adult male will be carrying a felony conviction with him forever. That's worse than your permanent record when you're in school.
Amen.
Won't be able to purchase, own, or possess a gun if convicted of a felony. Until he's paid his debt to society, if convicted, he loses a constitutional right to vote. There are many other rights and privileges that he will lose. For those of you who are becoming adults, you might keep that in mind. Once you turn 18, you're a big boy or a big woman, and everything you do, don't go hollering, mama, mama, mama. It's way too late for that one at that point in your lives.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, let's do a little bit of weather here, too.
Let's talk some weather.
Yeah, you see those little areas over there on the other screen?
Yeah, I just checked them out a little while ago.
Yeah, that's under the National Hurricane Center, although neither one of those is a tropical system or a hurricane or anything of that nature. The one that's the closest one to us is down in the northern part of the Gulf of Mexico. And there's a possibility as a blob that you will see there on the screen. There is nothing there. That's just an area where it could develop into something. There's nothing there. It could become a slow pressure system over the weekend or early next week. If it does, and if it gets to be with sustained winds of 37 miles per hour or 39 miles per hour, I keep forgetting
39.
which, then it becomes a tropical storm, and that way it gets a name. And unless something pops up between now and then, if that is to occur, it will be named Bertha. So just keep that in mind. There's
Excuse me.
nothing for further development for the next 7 days. That's why they're saying 20%, but that's pretty much nothing. That area of concern has actually drifted a little bit back towards the west and further along the Gulf Coast instead of up along the eastern seaboard, that coastal area. So the primary concern right now that they have is along the Gulf Coast. Yes, it can move, it can do whatever. The other system has come off the coast of Africa, but not moving of any significance and not even developing. It doesn't have much of a chance of developing for at least 7 days, a 10% chance during that time. Around these here parts, the coastal waters forecast for eastern North Carolina, the marine outlook, you should know, is an early indicator of what our coastal area is going to look like weather-wise. Inland troughing, where did I get that? Inland troughing will lead to, I was thinking about the islands. Inland troughing will lead to a southerly flow for a little longer than originally thought. Another reason we suggest you check current weather predictions every day is because they change. Higher winds and seas are likely over the weekend into early next week. The risk of a thunderstorm is expected to be low through today, then increase Saturday into next week. Today, as far out as 60 nautical miles, you can expect southwesterly winds of 10 to 15 miles per hour, seas 2 to 3 feet. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds around 10 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon, 2 to 3 footers, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the morning. This is all over the ocean out to 60 miles, okay? It could be anywhere in there or none at all.
Excuse me.
Sunday, higher southwesterly winds, 20 to 25, gusts to 30, seas around 6 feet, a chance of showers and thunderstorms.
Today will be mostly sunny and hot with a high near 97. Heat index values as high as 110. Calm wind becoming south 5 to 9 miles per hour in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 15. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 77. Saturday, sunny with a high near 93. And Monday, showers and possibly a thunderstorm with a high near 91. We're looking at the temperatures for next week. We're getting out of the high 90s. But there is a possibility of some good rainfall next week. So we'll see.
I just hope the wind will stay away, stay far away, and give us a little bit of rain here. And, not all at one time, because it will just run off if that happens. And we kind of needed to hang around and get down there deep into our soil. Here at the studios right now, it's 79 degrees, 99% humidity, and 29.93 inches of mercury. It only feels like 83 degrees, but it's 79. We've had no rain, no wind right now, nothing out there whatsoever. Lee this morning over in the Woodlands. You know, there's a place, you live in the Woodlands, right?
Well, my actual subdivision right there is called the Woodlands.
The Woodlands.
Yes.
You know, there's a town in Texas called
I know, I've been there.
the Woodlands.
My daughter lived there.
Really?
Yes. At one time before she moved to Houston.
I just saw that
Yeah.
yesterday somewhere pop up. I said,
Yeah,
what
she
are we
lived in the
talking
Woodlands.
about?
Yeah, I've been there. It's
And the name is the Woodlands. It's
Yes.
2 words.
it's
whatever.
kind of a ritzy area.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, in the ritzy woodlands of
Yes.
Onslow County, Lee reported 77 degrees at 5:30 this morning, 88% humidity, 29.99 inches of mercury, and no wind, no rain. In the borough, Joe called in this morning, 80 degrees, 80 degrees, 92% humidity, 29.98 inches of mercury. It was calm, no wind. Didn't have any rain either. Over at Emerald Isle, Joe hopped into his little pickup truck and drove over there. He said it was 81 degrees there, 87% humidity, and the barometric pressure was 1017.3 millibars or 30.03 inches of mercury. Southwesterly wind 2 to 5, a little breeze. Bladen County, James reported in this morning, 77 degrees, 94% humidity. Clear, 29.99 inches of mercury, northwesterly breeze at 2. Richard down in over there in Jones County, he said it was 77 degrees, 94% humidity, 30.00 inches of mercury. He could see all the way out to 7.5 miles. That's the visibility. Southerly breeze of 3. Ward and Cedar Point, 81.7 degrees, 88% humidity, 30.07 inches of mercury, southwesterly breeze at 3 to 5. And it was calm in Onslow Bay. Ken said 79.9 degrees, 84% humidity. And Randy out there riding around on his golf court, he was generating his own breeze, is what I think. 75 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.99 inches of mercury. He says the wind is calm and no rain. And Carol, this morning, she sounded sleepy this morning. I think they were tired.
She's so soft-spoken, I can barely hear her.
She's just high, yeah. Anyway, in River Bend, it was 75 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.92 inches of mercury, calm, and no rain. We're counting on, we're hoping for something to hydrate our growing crops out there.
Yes. I will tell you, going back to the Woodlands, when I said it was a ritzy area, I'm talking about the one in Texas. When I said it was a ritzy area.
Well, yeah.
I live in Woodlands, but I'm part of Northwoods.
Well, you live where, the mayor lives.
We just all happen to live close.
The attorney lives. The judge lives there.
Couple cops.
You got your own protection detail there?
I am very fortunate to have.
Okay, it's ritzy.
And I will tell you, let's talk about neighbors. I have some of the best neighbors ever.
Mm-hmm.
We just lost a neighbor.
My daughter says the same thing.
We just lost a neighbor earlier in the week. And a lot of you probably know him, Forrest Brown. He worked at Johnson Funeral Home, but he's a veteran. Really, really nice man. And he passed away earlier this week. So I imagine we'll get together as a group and go to the services. But I have such great neighbors. I really do. We look out for each other. If something happens in the middle of the night, I have one particular neighbor across the street that I know is going to be up. So I get him to go find out what's going on.
If you hear gunshots, you call the police, right?
No. I'm always getting him in trouble, though, because there was one time during the day where we had an episode happen. This was 3-4 years ago. And I called him and I said, and I had just gotten out of the shower, so I wasn't dressed properly yet to go outside.
You were naked?
No, I was not naked. But
you take a shower with your clothes on?
No, this is after the shower.
Oh.
Right? Anyway, so I called him. So he goes outside to see what's going on. He walks to the corner. And he's like trying to get the scoop, because there's always that neighbor. He's trying to get the scoop on what's going on.
From the police?
Not from the police.
Okay.
He's just trying to get the scoop by watching and seeing what was going on.
He was being observant.
And so about that time, somebody came out of their house and yelled, "She just went into the back of your house." He left his back garage door open.
Uh-huh.
And he was outside trying to see what was going on. And the woman that they were chasing, who had already gone into one lady's house and fought her.
He left his back garage door open?
People do that. And so anyway, she went running into his garage. And so he ran back to the house.
So he had a sanctuary city.
So when he went into his house, she was in the kitchen. And of course,
cook for him?
He always carries, even to the mailbox he's carrying.
I don't have a problem with that.
So he pulled his weapon and he advised her to get out of his house, get down or whatever.
No.
She goes running into the garage, and that's about the time our other neighbor, who's a police officer who was on duty, Smallwood, drives up into his driveway because he's letting everybody know. So excuse me, Alan hits the garage door button.
Locks her in?
No.
Oh.
Because Smallwood and other cops are standing on the other side of the garage door, and she fell trying to run, and the garage door caught her drawers in the back.
Where's the camera video?
So here goes the garage door, along with her being kind of jacked up with her undergarments kind of coming up out of her shorts. It was crazy.
Hard to handcuff somebody like that because you're laughing so hard.
Don't ask me to do anything anymore, but he does. I'll call him and say, "What's going on?" Like
and the night. Oh God, not you again.
Not like the night that I had PD standing next to my truck at 12:30 in the morning, yelling, "Stop!" And so I called. He came out and he talked to the cops. He got the full scoop for me. So. You always have that one neighbor you can depend on. Get the scoop. Yeah, but
Trying to think who that's going to be.
I have really, really good neighbors, and we all look out for each other, and we help each other. If one's down and can't mow the yard, we'll go mow it for them. One city, my city, our city. That's what we do.
I live in your city.
I know you do. Do you go mow other people's yard? You already mow your own yard.
Well, I'm too old to mow it.
You need to get your mower fixed. It's probably something very simple like a $30 belt.
It's got to get raised. It's a $400 job to pick it up and put it down again.
No, your mower's not any bigger than mine.
A 41-year-old man was arrested following a traffic stop in Lenore County this week. Jason Forbes,
Oh.
charged with possession of methamphetamine and carrying a concealed gun during a search of his car. The deputy that made the original traffic stop became suspicious and requested a drug dog with the Kinston Police Department to determine whether there was probable cause for a search. Okay, now, generally speaking, police, when they stop a vehicle, in the old days, we didn't have the dogs running around, right?
Right.
But we had to have either probable cause for an emergency search.
Right.
An emergency search could be declared if you knew in your mind, and you better be able to prove it when you get to court. You had to have enough in your mind to guarantee in your own mind that you would be able to get a search warrant. But you don't have time to go get a search warrant because they say that the vehicle is mobile and could be leaving the area.
Mm-hmm.
So they had this emergency search procedure, right? Otherwise, you had to wait for a search warrant. Well, not many people go hang around, wait for you to go get a search warrant. And you don't have grounds to keep them there, then you have a problem. But with the police dog trained as to identify drugs and to mark drugs, that is enough probable cause to give you permission, the authority to search the vehicle.
Yep.
It's gooder than a search warrant.
You going to argue with a canine?
Not once. No, go ahead. Have fun.
Here, have my car.
Hey, explain it to my partner here, would you?
Right.
Get in the back seat. He's waiting for you.
Right.
But anyway, there was probable cause developed. There was a good hit, a search.
There you go.
And Forbes was taken to jail. He posted a $10,000 bond and was released from jail. Forbes has no convictions for felonies in North Carolina, only 2 misdemeanor offense violations. For you other folks out there, Mr. Forbes, I'm not talking to you. I'm just using this as an example. Let me give you a piece of free advice because I can't charge for it. If you're out there and you carry a gun, legally or illegally, and you're committing a felony, this is going to compound the sentencing for that felony. They're going to treat this as a different type of case.
Right.
In a lot of jurisdictions, a lot of states, it is a separate crime to carry a gun while committing a felony. In North Carolina, it's the best that I can find in the laws, and there may be one that I'm not aware of. I thought there was one here, but I could have been mistaken again. But if you're caught with a gun while you're committing a felony, that goes to make this a more volatile criminal act if you're convicted of it, and the sentencing for it is going to be more. Okay? At the judge's discretion, which I disagree with, but we'll talk about that soon.
Yes.
Don't be surprised if you find the original felony charge has added circumstances that make it more serious with longer prison sentences if you're convicted. Felony possession of drugs,
you would hope.
That can become your first felony and, whatever. The word carrying, let me explain that to y'all, does not mean that you must actually have the gun in your pocket or in a holster or in a backpack on your body. The fact that you have it in your possession, that means within what is called constructive possession or reach, that's what creates the problem. If it's within your reach and it's concealed and you don't have a concealed carry permit, it's called carrying a concealed weapon, regardless of whether it's in the glove compartment or under your front seat. Here's what you can do. Your lawyer will gladly explain it to you for a fee as he plays Let's Make a Deal with Your Future. So many people don't understand the law. That's why lawyers make a lot of money.
Well, you're talking about Kinston, which I refer to as K-Town, in the news again. This time it is for the arrest of a Lenore County woman. The former executive director of the Community Council for Arts.
Oh, yes.
Which is a nonprofit. She has been arrested following an investigation into alleged financial misconduct. The police started investigating the case in December 2025 after receiving allegations of financial misconduct involving the nonprofit organization. Sandy Landis, 76, the organization's former executive director and transitional consultant, was identified as the suspect. According to investigators, Landis issued multiple unauthorized checks to herself and from the organization's accounts. Detectives said the checks totaled approximately $21,037.25.
That's a lot of expenses.
And it included unsupported consulting fees, vacation compensation, and an IRA contribution. Bank records reviewed during the investigation indicated several of the checks were deposited into her personal bank account. So this is what she's charged with: felony money laundering, identity theft, forgery, 2 counts of uttering a forged instrument, 5 counts of possession of counterfeit instruments, felony possession of stolen goods, obtaining property by false pretenses, and larceny of choice in action. Ooh, doggy. Was it worth it writing those checks to yourself if that's what happened?
I'm not even understanding why people do that. You're working for, can you live with yourself? You're working for a nonprofit, whatever it is.
Right.
And can you, well, I suppose they could in their own heads. I'm giving this my free time. I'm giving what I could be doing in working a job. I'm giving it to this group or this organization, and I don't get anything in return. But I think that as the director of this, I should be getting at least a consulting fee or some kind of money reimbursement for my expenses, or that I can hear them justifying it all day long.
My thing is, if you're gonna steal, allegedly, if you're gonna do all this, 21,000, why didn't you go bigger?
How do you know that it wasn't more?
Well, from what I've seen right here in this story, they did a pretty good, thorough investigation. So, yeah, and it's true, it could be more. But what makes me sad also, this was the Arts Council.
And what else could that 21,000 have been used for?
For young adults, children, or whatever, learning the arts, being a part of it, art shows, art lessons.
See, that should be in itself felony larceny from them.
Yeah.
Every one of them is a victim.
The arts are not like they used to be. It used to be the arts program in Onslow County used to be a really big thing. You had dance studios that were part of putting on full-length ballets every year, and the Arts Council helped them with that. You had art classes, you had art showings, you had a day of the arts. I mean, there's so much, and you don't see that anymore. And it's sad too, because like you said, I mean, it's taken away from the kids too.
It takes away from the kids, and it for those other people out there who may be contributing, and I don't know where the money came from, whether they got it from the county money or from, some kind of a contribution, likely they did, but also from personal donors.
Yes, you have personal, and then you get grants. Most of your art councils get grants from the county, the state.
How about those personal donors, the people that just give it to you out of the goodness of their hearts?
I'd be so mad.
Wow,
I'd be so mad.
and it discourages them from wanting to give to anybody or anything. And the Arts Council will be the last thing they'll ever give to.
When's the
again.
last time you went to the Art Council, the building itself, the gallery, the office for Onslow County?
Been a long, long time.
Yeah. I went, when I did the Bulldog story
Mhm.
2 years ago or so, I was in there then, and that's the first time I had been in there in a while. But I mean, how many people even know about it? How many people, how many listeners, how many of you have been down there to the Onslow County Arts Center? It's
It's
a
been a
pretty cool
long time,
place.
and
Pretty cool place.
I explored doing some stuff there at one time, but
Mhm.
anyway, it's a different story.
Who
Different story.
let the dogs out?
Iran is desperate,
Oh,
But
they're
they're
getting
all-
blown to smithereens.
but they're also very dangerous. You corner a cottonmouth water moccasin, you corner a bulldog, you corner a rabid dog, you corner any critter, and they're likely to come out being very vicious. They got nothing to lose. Iran is threatening to bring a terrorist group into play. Really? They're going to ask a terrorist organization to help them if the United States knocks out the country's power grid. We're doing something right now. We're planning to, because Iran is not playing nice. They're being very mean, and they're not understanding English yet. They have not figured out American version of English.
Right.
The English folks hold their little pinkies up when they drink their tea.
Yeah.
We don't. We chug a lug it and we blow stuff up.
I can't even do that.
I don't even want to try. But anyway, the thugs have asked rebel Houthis to be ready to close a Red Sea gateway. The threat is not meaningless, though it's doubtful anything the terrorists try would completely take the passage out of action. But that's another way to get around. Not much doubt, according to experts, that it would have certainly hurt global shipping. The global trade industry is hurt bad enough now because of the Strait of Hormuz. And we're not getting the goods we're supposed to be getting. We're not able to trade with other countries. Other countries who would like to supply us with things can't do it because of these thugs. There's a time when the benefit of the masses is going to far outweigh the needs of a group of terrorists, and the Iranian thugs are fast becoming terrorists, in my opinion. All of this is my opinion, of course. We're putting our blockade, the U.S. naval blockade, is going to be back in play. It may already be there. That will prevent ships from leaving Iran and other ships from going to Iran. They're not going to get stuff in or out of Iran via their port. Under most circumstances, would never imagine any country using terrorists, though, for any missions. Who would have ever thought that? But remember, we used a group of rebels to help kick the Russian commies out of Afghanistan. The leader of that group of rebels was Osama bin Laden. And then after that occurred, they were very successful. Then he became empowered. And then we had our hands filled trying to get rid of that vermin. Hopefully we learn from that mistake and we won't make that one again. Don't count on other people to do your work for you if they are not nice people in the first place. We've got people in place here that we can go do bad things to bad people if need be. And we should keep it in-house.
Right. I agree. I want to tell you, yesterday for a little while, I watched committee hearing, and this was where they called Liz Oyer, the Department of Justice's former non-political pardon attorney to testify. And she carries a deep loathing of President Trump and an axe to grind against Todd Blanche. And this was all about confirmation hearings for Todd Blanche. Anyway, it's totally unbelievable what I was watching yesterday. But Todd Blanche signed a firing memo terminating the pardon attorney's job. She was appointed by Biden, of course. But she didn't seem to have any concerns at all about the victims of 37 convicted killers on federal death row who got an get out of execution card thanks to her soft spot on crime. And the committee hearing, you had to have watched it because, like, she made a particular pitch for clemency in the case of mass murderer Dylan Roof, who in 2015 stormed into a church in South Carolina and shot and killed
He's
9 black members.
He was one of the only people that was on the federal death row that Biden did not cut loose.
Yeah, he was among just 3 federal death row inmates that didn't make Biden's clemency list.
Yep.
The others are Boston Marathon bomber and Robert Bowers, who shot and killed 11 people in a Pittsburgh synagogue in 2018.
Well, the reason that Ruth, how's he pronounce his name? I forgot. The Charleston bomber.
That's
Charleston
right.
killer.
That's why I skipped over it.
It's an obvious reason that Biden did not pardon him.
Right.
And it had to do with race. That would have been probably Biden's undoing as far as being nice to people. They didn't care that he pardoned a bunch of other folks, black or white. But if he had pardoned this dude, who was a racist, murdering scum, the other words I can't say, who should have been executed years ago. That once they found him guilty, they should have taken him to the courthouse steps and shot him, starting at his feet and working their way up with 22 caliber bullets, short ones.
That's a Navy. I can't even. But that was an interesting hearing that I was watching because they were throwing it right back at her and saying like you had the sentence reduced from the death penalty or from life imprisonment. Tell that to the 9 families of the victims that shooter walked in and just shot them.
But you're taking another person's life just because they killed 9 people. Well, how do you justify that? Is 2 wrongs going to make a right? Is this going to bring any of them back? I mean, I've heard all of the arguments, folks. I've heard them all. We're not here for vengeance. Yes, we are. We're here for payback.
Well, they had actual in writing words and sentences and announcements and things that she had said in reference to these different cases where she eased the sentence of these people. And it got, I was sitting there listening to it and I'm like, she said that? How would you feel if it was your family, your whole family wiped out in a church because of some crazy person?
I would hope that the Lord would, look after me and the rest of my family and would be taking care of them. And they are in a better place than they were here on earth.
Well, she pushed.
I've heard all of this.
She pushed clemency for rapists, child molesters, and murderers. And it's her own words. It's her own words that they read yesterday in that committee hearing about, we're going to reduce the sentence and we're going to reduce this. And I'm like,
but that's her feelings. Why? That's the way she is.
But, is it right?
According to me? But you have to ask. According to me, is it right? What do you think?
She completely dismissed the severity of the crimes in some of these cases. And,
who are we here on earth to punish? Are we here to judge our fellow man? Who are we to decide that they should be punished and how severe?
Well, it's just like in her memo, and this was over a case where Chadrick Folks and Brandon Basham, each convicted of murdering a 19-year-old Samantha Burns after grabbing her from a mall parking lot in 2002. She suggested the death row inhabitants shouldn't have faced capital charges in the first place.
Well, she can suggest and do one in one hand and then suggest in another. I'll tell you what's going to fill up first.
I was just, they were reading some of the cases and some of the sentences, and then her writing in words why she thought they shouldn't.
Well, good. That's her opinion.
But she was a pardon attorney at the time, the United States pardon attorney. She was pardoning them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who brought her on board?
Biden.
Fire.
Well, she's gone. But it was just her flippant attitude yesterday.
And why are we even discussing her? I mean, why is this country discussing her now?
That was part of the committee hearing for the confirmation on Todd Blanche.
Yeah, but she serves no purpose.
Well, I don't know, Rafer. I just tuned in, and that's what it was.
She's an irrelevant
She's
entity.
one of the witnesses, I guess, against having Todd Blanche as the Attorney General.
Yeah, move on.
I guess what got me was her attitude.
Okay. She's an irrelevant entity and should be considered as such.
It's just amazing, some of this stuff. The time wasted in our Congress. Just a waste.
Some citizens in Memphis, they're up in arms about the shooting death of a 47-year-old man there. Y'all need to listen up. You've heard about it. You've heard the screaming, the hollering, and carrying on. A special task force made up of police, members of the Tennessee National Guard, and federal law enforcement agencies have been working with local police to help curb the crime rate in Memphis, which has been going up for quite some time. Now, some locals are arguing now that the crime rate is coming down. Well, maybe that's because they've got a whole bunch of police in there and special task force in there, and they're working on it. It didn't come down on its own. The media and socialist media posts forget to check the other part of the story before becoming keyboard warriors because they can't be real reporters. The dead man in question is Alfonso Ivy. At the time the task force was serving a warrant on him, he pulled out a pistol, aimed it at the law enforcement officers. Nobody with the National Guard shot him. Alfonso Ivy met his demise when a federal drug enforcement agent shot him dead. He didn't wait for him to pull the trigger. He waited for him to pull the gun. You pull the gun on cops, cops are going to kill you. Dead. How tough is that to understand? Now, all the hoopla, including one pizza place, refusing service to any of the Tennessee National Guard who wanted pizza, he refuses to serve them pizza. He won't let them in their restaurant.
I had that story up. I was so mad. I mean, everybody has a right to their views, but you know what?
Mr. Ivy,
shut him down.
Mr. Ivy, the dead Mr. Ivy, had a lot to be concerned over. U.S. Marshals had a fugitive warrant for him on felony drug charges, not his first encounter with the police. In fact, this guy that they're going to build a statue for him too. This guy had racked up more than 50 encounters with law enforcement since 1997. During this time, as a criminal, he spent more than 12 years locked up in Tennessee prisons on felonies. They had a warrant for him as a fugitive for drugs. And he pulls a gun on cops. And they kill him. Well, one of them kills him. Now, you tell me, what's wrong with what the police, the task force, and everybody else did? They took a vermin off the street that had been in prison for 12 years and they had 50 different encounters with the police since 1997. How many people rack up that many encounters with the police? I mean, you haven't even done that in all of your years on Earth. 50 times?
You know, I'm sure that he's going to lose some business over it. Probably not enough in my book.
I hope
but,
they shut him down.
Well, you know.
I hope the citizens of Memphis shut him down.
You better hope all your code is up to par and
I would leave him
your
alone.
food and your oven's clean.
I would leave him all alone by himself to wallow in his own misdeeds and his
It'll
own
come down to
stupidity.
that. It's a shame.
Payback.
It's a shame.
When all those police out there who used to eat your pizza and all of their families and their friends,
Right.
oh no.
Well, if he's that kind of a person and he owns a food restaurant, there's no telling who might have gotten a little extra dirt in their pizza from time to time when he saw you come in and didn't like you. I don't know. I'd definitely take him off my list.
Oh yeah, well he'd be on the list, but
yeah.
it's going to be on the wrong list,
Right,
not
right,
your
right.
list, not your kind of list. Zippity doo dah.
Zippity doo dah. You know, yesterday we talked about the former Marine and
Factual.
the Republican candidate in Florida running for the U.S. House.
I
Want to make threats against
I
Trump.
feel bad for him because of his other mental condition.
Well, we talked him up
issue.
yesterday, and guess what? Yesterday afternoon, he was arrested by federal authorities.
Yeah. Well,
And he faces up to. Okay, things are happening. My phone's ringing. The door opens.
so with the noise.
He was taken into custody after appearing and he was appeared in federal court. And, but what was I saying?
He got picked up. He
Right.
made threats
Before
against
that.
the president.
Right.
But he also, his former command, they said that he had an issue. He's running as a write-in candidate for Congress.
Yeah,
from,
we
was
got
it
all
Florida?
that. We got all that. Yeah, Florida. But there was a place I was going with all that.
I have no idea.
Then the phone in the door. I was like,
I
what's
have
happening?
no idea what's going on in your head, woman.
It's
Then you
okay.
then you asked me to tell where was I?
I'm like,
you know
where-
what? La La Land,
Anyway,
Satisfactional Village.
he was arrested, and but you know what? I'm telling you, Rayford, people are still going to vote for him.
Two of them.
They're crazy people.
Well, they are. I mean, John Jenrette, a congressman from I forgot what the district is in Conway, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, Conway area.
Yeah.
John Jenrette in the 70s, he got caught.
Oh, I remember
He
that.
got caught. I do too, because I've interviewed him many times.
Who was that crazy man in Onslow County that was always getting on the ballot for sheriff here? That was
No,
what was his
don't
name?
call him crazy because we don't know.
Sorry. Who was that one gentleman? Oh, I know Jack Bright. If you're listening, you know who I'm talking. Gilead or something like.
Anyway.
Who was it? He was
Well, John
always running for
was a
sheriff.
congressman, and John got caught. He was on TV. It was a sting called Abscam. That's where Abscam, where a bunch of believe it or not, some dudes, they look like oil sheiks and all that sort of good stuff, but they were FBI agents. They got a lot to pick from inside that organization.
Oh, I think. Wait a minute. What was his last name?
John Jenrette, and they were picking. I'll tell you more about him in just a minute. And they were Google. What's his wife's name?
Yes.
I'll get her name.
I know who.
Because I
I
met her.
can't think
I
of the
spent some
names.
quality time at
Right.
the Playboy Club with her in New Jersey. Anyway, he got caught cramming money into his pockets on old black and white surveillance video. He was cramming. He was gleefully cramming money into his pockets.
To find better places.
And they tried him for all of this. He was running for re-election. They tried him for all of this. While he was running for re-election, he narrowly lost the election. He narrowly lost, and he got convicted. He would have been zapped anyway, but he almost won re-election. That's how popular he was. That's how crazy people who vote can be. You understand? I don't know. You tell me. There are people who say the same thing about Trump. Why do people vote for Trump? It's their privilege.
That's right.
It's their privilege. I don't know what makes anybody tick. I don't know what makes people tick when they, oh my God, they bought Bill Clinton's story. I did not have sex with that woman. Yeah, you're a liar. You are a liar.
We all knew that was.
You're a liar, but that's
a fabrication.
The people did not care. It was okay with those who supported him. I didn't have a problem with him being, I had a problem with that, but I would lie to the public. If he got up there and said, yeah, I don't know who wouldn't have done it, but, you know, they're just, it's just people like that kind of give politics a really bad name. What was Jen Rhett's wife's name? Anyway, she went on to, she wrote an article for Playboy. She wrote the article for Playboy and talked about having, with John, her husband, having get-togethers on the Capitol steps in the shadows at nighttime.
I said that I thought I remembered this,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't.
And then,
honestly
of
don't.
course, they did a fool's, pardon the pun, spread on her. Rita Jenrette was her name. Rita Jenrette.
Rita Jenrette.
And that was all over the Playboy. And they did a spread on her. And then she goes up to represent Playboy, staying at the Playboy Mansion, at the Playboy Club, not the Playboy Mansion, at the Playboy Club in New Jersey, where they have the Miss America pageant. She was covering the Miss America pageant for Playboy. And I got to interview her up there.
I know. I definitely
She's a beautiful
don't
woman.
remember this.
Oh, you don't remember this?
No, I
I
don't.
was 70, I don't know, 8, something like that. Maybe 80. Anyway, it's there's so much garbage out there, and it's really weird.
So much.
I forgot we had a Miss North Carolina who was from Wilmington, had won the Miss North Carolina pageant, and she was a friend, Lynn, and she, I told her, she said, "You coming to Raleigh for the pageant?" And I said, "I can't do it. Don't want to. It's too much issue." I said, "But if you get to be Miss North Carolina, I'll go to Atlantic City." Well, she won, so I had to go to Atlantic City. Anyway, it had the best little Italian restaurant there at Atlantic City. It was a hole in the wall, up the stairs. It wouldn't pass inspections today, not the restaurant, but the stairway, because only it has one-way traffic going up or down. There wasn't enough room in there for large people to fit two side by side. So it's a fire hazard. But their food was absolutely to kill for. In New Jersey with the mafia, to kill for was, maybe it occurred, I don't know. All right, what else we got going?
Well, you're talking about weather right now. When we were talking about it earlier, Texas is having some horrific flooding. I saw one report by a meteorologist who was talking about there was one river. Let me see if I can find that real quick. One river there that has already crested 39 feet above its line.
So it's 39 feet over flood stage.
That's right.
That's a lot of
let me
water.
see. And here's Johnson Fork Creek now 22 feet deep from the new heavy rainfall, and it's threatening at home. They're watching that.
Is that 22 feet deep or 22 feet over flood?
No, he's saying that's 22 feet deep now.
Well, we don't know how deep it's supposed to be.
No. Let me see where. All right, flash flood emergency continues for the Pedernales River near Johnson City,
Do that again.
Texas. No, I'm not. After a 26.5 foot crest.
Oh, that's where.
They're saying a 3-day rainfall maximum of 28 inches near Uvalde, Texas, with over 20 inches reported near Caryville. They have multiple flash warnings there. The Guadalupe River is well over crest. I mean, it's just
22
really,
inches of rain.
28, yeah.
28 inches of rain?
28 inches.
Here in Florence, we got 31 here. Does
we
does
saw
that
a
tell
lot
you
of
guys
flooding.
something?
Yes, but they have
I don't
a
know
lot of.
how far is that from the Gulf of Mexico? Because they may not have the drain off that we have here. 20 or 30 inches here is, I mean, we do have a place for it to go. It's called the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know where
You
they
can't
have
find
that
that
kind of water
recent
to go.
one that he had. It might have been on Facebook and not X, but 3 minutes ago he posted.
Well, we got some stories too that you were talking about beforehand. I thought you had them up this morning about the some folks in Oslo County being arrested for having dealings with children that they should not have been having
Oh,
there.
yes,
I don't know where you got that. I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't think I opened. I just read it off my phone, but let me go back in here and get what we had. But yeah,
Well, you keep
it's
looking
like
at that.
what is going on?
Coastal weather's forecast for eastern North Carolina. Anytime we talk about the coastal forecast, the weather, the marine weather, it's important to our folks out there with marine interest. That means that the people who want to go out on the ocean, but it's also an early indicator of what area is going to look like, potentially kind of either good severe weather or, good severe weather can be important, lots of rain and whatever. Inland troughing, which is where we are right now, will lead to a southerly flow for a little bit longer than originally thought. That should have been ending by today. Another reason we suggest you check current weather predictions every day before you venture offshore, especially going offshore. Check the local inlet conditions and then check what it is supposed to be. Higher winds in areas and seas are likely over the weekend into early next week. And then we're also waiting to see what's going to happen with that little forming low pressure system in the northeastern part of the Gulf of America. So all of that is stuff that we're juggling a lot of stuff up there in the air at the same time here. Not we, the weather people are, to find out what's going to happen and whether we're going to have something that's going to develop or not. Stay tuned all weekend long if you're planning to, if weather is going to be important in your future. Okay. The risk of thunderstorms is expected to be low through today, then increase from Saturday into next week. Today, as far out as 60 nautical miles, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet.
Right.
Saturday, tomorrow, winds out of the southwest around 10, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon, 2 to 3 footers, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the morning. And on Sunday, higher southwesterly winds, 20 to 25 knots with gusts to 30 knots, seas around 6 feet. A chance of showers and thunderstorms.
And we have Chris Blankenship on the phone. Chris, hold on one second.
Hold on, Chris.
Today we have a slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny and hot with a high near 97. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 77. Saturday, sunny with a high near 93. Sunday, showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm late afternoon, partly sunny with a high near 91.
Chris Blankenship. Good morning. How are you?
Doing?
Morning, all right. I had a chance to call in, and right about the time you were doing the weather, I'm sitting here on the western bank of a new river, and it is fairly smooth. It's not perfectly glass smooth out there. There's a couple little ripples, but almost. A couple of places right in the next to shore is about glass smooth.
Okay. Now here's my question. You got a fishing pole?
No, I mean not right now. I wish I had a cast net. There's a whole lot of bait fish.
You don't have a fishing pole with you?
No, I do not.
What are you doing on the river?
Oh, I'm wandering around here for work.
Oh, well, I guess that's.
I know. Yeah, that's kind of sad. But
haven't you seen those commercials from way back when? Those little folding fishing poles you could put in your hip pocket and carry anywhere just in case.
Yeah, I got a toolbox back here. I could break one down and throw it in, but I just haven't done that. need to get out there. I caught some Spanish here a little while ago out on the boat, just out of the inlet a little bit.
Oh, good.
But no, I was calling. I couldn't call in yesterday. And I talked to Lee about it a little bit. You had Chris Miller on, getting a little bit about homeschool and school kids,
right?
Being able to do sports activities at school, and being involved with the state's junior high power team and 4-H, local 4-H county teams. I was at Onslow for a little bit, and right now I'm helping out, and I got my kids also in one of the Pender County teams because we live closer to the Pender County line, and they have a nearby team there. It's just interesting. A lot of the kids there, a good portion of them are either homeschool or private school.
Uh-huh.
And that's for shooting sports, rifle, shotgun, archery. stuff like that. I don't know if it's that they gravitate toward that or lesser chance to get to some of your standard school sports. But there's probably depending on where you're at, probably a 60 to 80% of the kids are either private or homeschooling that. So they do kind of find some activities outside the norm.
That's an absolute great point. Something that's outside the norm. Now, of course, I don't think any of the schools, not that I know of, in no North Carolina schools at this time are offering shooting or even gun safety classes or anything like that. They used to be kind of a norm.
There are, but the closest one that I know of that was doing it a few years ago, Craven County, and NC Wildlife holds a hunter safety tournament.
Yes, they
and
do
it's
that.
Very similar to the 4-H.
Yeah.
And you can look at it. You kind of have to search for it and dig around on it. But NC hunter safety tournament, and I think the last time I saw it, last year or two, there's still about 300 participants between public school, some private, and some 4-H that go out and compete in each one of the wildlife districts. And like I said, there are several public schools that do offer that, but it's Oswego County, I think Pender County, some local counties don't. The closest one I've heard was Craven.
Wow. There was a good friend of mine from years ago. He was an instructor with wildlife for that. He took that one of the projects on that he took on the side. So that was great.
Mm-hmm. And I think all it would take around here for that to happen is a parent or somebody that has a child in school, and he may have to have the high school kid start that up, but they could push some interest in that and have a parent or a teacher coach. I know when I was in high school on the other end of the state in the late 90s, that program in the school was run by the agriculture science teacher.
Oh, okay.
So I think
that.
if it was to happen here in the public school system, it'd just take some interested parents at whatever school to kind of kick that off. And like I said, you can look that up online and kind of see and get contact with whoever local and wildlife can kind of push out in that direction.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can easily reach out. That's a good idea. Wish somebody would do that around here. And even if it's just for identification or how to safely identify, you see the gun, you leave it alone. You don't know anything about guns. But if you happen to be in a crowd of kids and there's a gun that's been dropped or somebody's got a gun and you want to disable it, you want to, unload it, whatever. You should be nice if you knew how to do it or at least secure it so it can be used.
And the kids I know in the 4-H program, they'll kids at 12 and up can start with rifle. 4-H also has pistol, but they've got to be 15 to be able to do the pistol.
Yeah.
But as far as the rifle, that's firearms handling right there. When you're out there on the line, you got to open it up, make sure the chamber's empty.
Sure.
Put the empty chamber indicator, little flag goes in. Nobody, they always start learning the rules of a range. That goes back and applies to
range
seeing
rules.
something in the house.
That's it. Hey, I was just thinking, probably back in my day, long time ago, in some of the situations, probably as many of the boys, I'll call us that, at that time, probably knew more about the guns than a lot of the adults knew about guns because we were always shooting.
Right.
That's still kind of true today, depending on where you go, who you talk to.
Yeah.
It just depends how much experience they've got in it, and that's that's parents or responsible adults sitting there like teaching kids, family members, about it. Kids will pick up on it pretty quick.
Yep.
One of the biggest things with my kids was, I started out. Now you got to make sure it's safe and put up. At the same time, I always found that hey, this is a tool. All right, it'll do something. It's not a living thing, and it's not something to play with either. It's a tool. Now, if you want to go out and use it and watch what I can do with it, and probably about 3 times a year when my kids were young, I did a little safety thing with a melon or watermelon, like, hey, watch what this does. This could be bad if you do something wrong. And personally, I've not had a problem with my kids are my youngest one's 13 now, and he's been around them for a while. So.
I like watermelons, so don't go splitting up too many good watermelons, but you can take a 1-gallon milk jug and fill that thing almost full of water, put that cap on it. It will have an explosive impact.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Chris, you're getting ready to go out of town, aren't you, for a shoot?
No, yeah, the CMP national matches and national trophy matches that's 2 weeks there.
Wow.
And then my oldest son, he's going to be there with us for those 2 weeks, and he's also going to be shooting the long range week. So he's going to be up at Camp Perry, Ohio, shooting the nationals for almost 3 weeks.
Excellent.
My younger son are going to be there for 2. Now the weather up there, we're getting reports. They're running. We're shooting centerfire rifle. They've got small bore week and pistol that's going on up there right now, and reports from up there are like they canceled one match yesterday because all that Canadian smoke.
Yeah.
And they're looking at range control up there at Camp Perry is evaluating the air quality, and I don't know if they've canceled today's yet or not. Looks like some weather might kind of move some of that smoke or get it to lay down before we leave. But
good. Hopefully,
we're still planning on going, and
bring your own gas mask.
Things where there's people talking about that up there already. Like, fantastic. That's wonderful. But I've heard and seen some pictures from up there where visibility has gotten down to 500 yards.
Oh my gosh!
So it's that area is right in the bad zone for that. But like I said, we'll get up there unless they cancel the whole thing. All of a sudden, we'll get up there. We'll take it day by day, and do our best in adverse conditions or not. Hopefully the smoke will. Hopefully the fires will get some rain on them. But I haven't looked at what's going on in Canada. Hopefully the weather just at least pushes the smoke away from us.
No, you'll be participating also, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to go after that national champion that you beat out the last time?
At the ESA, yeah. So I was telling Lee, the 2025 Eastern Cup up here at Camp Butner is kind of it's a big like Eastern Seaboard east of Mississippi match, and it's a 3-day, 2,400 point, 240 shots per record. And the end of day 2, I was tied up with a gentleman he did 20 years in the Army Marksmanship Unit. He'd recently retired, and the end of day 2, him and I were tied up numerically for score, and he had me by a couple of X's. And X's, for those who don't know, are just on scoring like that. They're just used to break ties or bragging rights, whichever one you want to look at.
Yeah, bragging
but
rights.
He had me by a couple X's at the end of day 2, so I'm sitting here like, hey, I'm tied up with a multi-time national champion because he'd won several national championships doing the same course of fire. And so so we went day 3 was it was bad weather on everyone. Winds blowing, even 200 yards standing and sit in the sitting position with a rifle, the wind was blowing enough to blow you around a little bit. That's pretty tough. And anyway, so we shot out. We got back to 600 yards, and I didn't know it at the time. And the very last stage, and some people knew it because these electronic targets they've been using for a few years, they started doing a live target thing. So if you have your phone or tablet, you can watch other people. Like you could be like half the country away and watch a relative or a friend that is shooting. You can watch their target and people that are around them. Well, I didn't know it at the time. Now, like I said, when we get to the last stage, but me and Brandon Green had numerically tied up again, and he had me by a few X's. And by the end, I dropped 3 points at the last 600, and he had dropped 4.
Oh,
and I didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time. And the young gentleman, another Army Marksmanship Unit shooter who's kind of new. I was packing my things up, and I was kind of telling him like, well, that was a good effort for today, but it probably is not going to do it. And he looks at me and says, so I shot a 790 score for the day. And he looks up at me. He says, "Sir, Brandon shot a 789."
Oh,
And then I looked at him. I said,
Really?
point.
"If you're lying to me, you're gonna buy me a drink."
Oh my gosh! Well, congratulations.
No, sir. He had it right there. Like, about a minute later, old Brandon Green, again, multi-time national champion, comes up and shakes my hand. He's like, "Congratulations. We haven't left the line yet."
Wow.
Like that, so.
Well, you're going to have to keep us posted for the next 2
please.
weeks. Let us know what's going on.
What do you shoot long range? What do you shoot for the long gun?
So for rifle, for the CMP Nationals, I shoot a Tup 2000 match rifle. My youngest son shoots one too. So the rapid fires, we're kind of at disadvantage a little bit because we're running bolt actions. So it's 60 seconds to fire 10 shots with a magazine change or a clip reload. The service rifles, either the M16, AR-15s, depending on if it's active service member or civilian, or the old M14, M1As, or M1 Garand. They shoot 2 and then reload with a magazine or a clip of 8. Again, that's 60 seconds for 200, 70 seconds at 300 rapid. I'm shooting for the match rifle. I'm shooting a 6XC, which is a 6mm, so it's got a little bit of performance there.
Yes.
But that's going to be in the first week, and then there's going to be a bunch of people shooting service rifles and match rifles, and some of the good shooters with a service rifle, they'll hang right in there with a match rifle. Years ago, there used to be a little more of a disparity, but modern technologies closed that gap significantly. The second week that we're going to be there is all service rifle. No match rifles for that one. That's what they call National Trophy Week. That one, the first day, you can shoot for the President's Rifle match. The top 100, they get an award for that. The very top person gets depending on who's the president, gets a letter from the President of the United States. He signs off on it. I want to say, at one point I thought Bill Clinton had not, but he signed it at least 1 year. And the only 2 presidents I can think of that had never signed it were Obama, and I think Biden never signed it.
I'm sure.
Every other U.S. president signed the letter. The winner.
I told Jill I don't need no AR-15. Nobody needs an AR. All they need to do, Jill, you just go up there in the closet, get that shotgun out. You fire 2 shells from that shotgun, that double-barrel shotgun, from the balcony, and they'll leave.
Bird shot.
Oh, for God's sakes.
They'll run right away.
Bird shot. In the city limits. Go for that, Jill.
But the second day, so National Trophy Week is 2 individual days, President's 100, and then the NTI, National Trophy Individual. And my oldest son, he is 8 points out of 30 for getting his United States Distinguished Rifleman badge.
Nice.
And if he can make it into the cut, the top 10% of all non-distinguished, then he'll get his distinguished badge at Camp Perry this year.
Yay!
That's what he's hoping.
Go for it. Bring it home.
Like talk about those electronic targets where you can look at it on your phone. My wife, she's back here. She's back here in Holly Ridge, and last year I was walking down the road in between the range he was on and the one I was coming off of. He was on Rodriguez, I was on Viale, and I'm watching him because he's shooting as I'm coming down the target or the range road.
Uh-huh.
And me and the wife are on the phone. We're sitting there watching him shoot, and like he shoots a 10. It was kind of like watching somebody score in like a football game or basketball. He got it, and then the wind blows him out. Another shot. Oh, he shoots an 8. Like, oh no, he's losing points, and you're bringing up, who is close to him that's non-distinguished, and you're kind of watching their scores. It's actually rifle shooting used to be kind of like, if you're not participating, it's kind of boring sometimes.
Yeah.
But especially with electronic targets, and you're keeping up with all these people, it can be about as exciting as watching a game on TV.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well,
all right, sir. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you,
Good
Chris.
luck. Be safe up there.
Safe travels, and keep us posted.
Thank you. And hopefully the weather will be nice.
Yeah, I hope it is.
Here.
You'll need some clear sky and no wind. I know wind is a factor.
Yeah, well, we do need some rain down here though. My garden's hurting.
We need water here. I want the water here.
We need fresh
I'm
rain.
just hoping where you're going, I hope you've got clear sky and 100,000 miles of visibility.
Might want to take some air mask with you.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
All right, y'all have a good morning.
You too, Chris.
All right.
Right. That's nice. That's a great family sport. I mean, he's got what, 2 kids and himself.
I think it's been a year or maybe almost 2 that he was in here in the studio talking about the competition and about how kids from the area could join.
Yeah, it's a sport. I never got into the organized part of it. I was just I was a plinker.
Yes,
a plunk.
same.
I was a plunk. The biggest competition that I ever did was every time we would go to the range in law enforcement, we're going to have side bets. And there were certain times that, somebody's going to buy lunch. Somebody else is going to win.
Right.
And other people are going to lose.
Right.
So that was always a fun thing, just a little thing. And now I did win from my buddies from time to time. I would win a few little things out there. Like I used to, I was took not lessons, but took instructions from a really good friend, late friend now, but he taught me how to shoot moving targets in the air with a handgun. I used to throw baby food jars up, shoot them, and run because the grass was falling.
Shooting.
So anyway, what we got?
You hit the button too fast.
I'm a fast hitter. Hit the button this morning. My button pusher. You're live and local. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
You leave before you look, didn't you?
I know. She looked. I thought she got the message.
Yeah.
But she didn't speak.
It usually takes at least 1 ring for it to show up, and you hit it right away.
How many rings
Which
did
is
you
cool.
hear?
He did get it quick.
How many rings did you hear, Lee?
I didn't get none.
I
either.
can tell by the light. I'm going by the light flashes. How many rings did it ring, Steve?
He just said he
He
didn't hear
didn't make
any.
it through the first.
See?
Well, see, my little flasher over here, it went off.
Well, yeah, I know.
It went off.
It went off one time before you hit the
It
button.
went off before the phone lit up. That's what it is. Okay, I'll quit pushing the dang button so fast.
It's okay. You can push a button any way you want to. You generally do.
Steve, I pushed 1 or 2 buttons in my life, I think.
I just had to do that.
Yeah. Figuratively and literally, right?
Ready for pushing buttons. Okay.
Okay.
I was going to ask you,
That
Victor,
one
how many 22 rounds do you think you fired in a half a minute? What do you think the record might be?
Well, here's the thing. Even in high school, my dad gave me, believe it or not, when I was 14, he gave me a 22 high standard target pistol. There was actually one used by a gentleman here. He's a retired colonel, and he shot competition at Camp Perry. And he loved shooting pistols. And this was one that was rigged out with a barrel, an adjustable barrel weight so you could balance it out, adjustable trigger pull, and very precision pistol. And I always had a brick of 22 long rifles here. Every time I would go through a brick, he would buy me another brick that cost, including tax in those days, $7.77 at Furniture Fair here in Jacksonville.
$7.77.
A brick of 22 long rifles is 500 rounds. On any given day when it snowed, the only thing I cared about snow is we were out of school because I had in the backyard, we lived in a neighborhood at that time, didn't have houses here, there, and everywhere. And my dad had built a fallout shelter. Fallout shelter had 3 feet of dirt piled up over the top of it. It was a mound over the top of it. That was my backdrop. And during any given day, snow day, I would fire 500 rounds and shooting individually, very precision as best I could at little pistol targets, 25-foot pistol targets. They were NRA pistol targets. And I got to be a little bit good. Let's just put it that way. That's the reason I could shoot baby food jars thrown up in the air with that pistol.
I hear that. Yeah, I went through quite a few in my youth as well. I was thinking, we probably fired more rounds in one afternoon than a Revolutionary soldier fired it during the whole world.
It took him a lot longer to reload. Yeah, but the pistol that I bought for my first law enforcement job, I bought it in 1970. It was a Model 19 with a 2.5-inch barrel Smith & Wesson and 357 Magnum. Not the first pistol I had owned or in that caliber. Well, first one in that particular caliber. I had 38 specials, but the 357 just a souped up 38 special, a little bit longer case. But I bought that because I had to have the Magnum. You know, you had to have the Magnum. You know how it is. So I got that and I reloaded. And I would go to the range, and whenever I had enough ammo, which would be about 500-600 rounds, I would go to the range and shoot, which was generally once to every 2 weeks, no more than once every 2 weeks. I would burn out 500 rounds at the range. And I would shoot the equivalent of 38 specials, whatever I loaded them at, but they were about 38 special rounds.
Yeah, my father-in-law was a competition shooter, and he gave me one of those Lee progressive reloaders.
Oh yeah, great.
And it was a really nice setup, but I'm lazy, man. He was into it because he wanted the precise load.
That was it.
He wanted to shoot. And for me, I could pick them up right off the shelf and run to the range, and that was,
Well, when I was
never really picked it up very much.
When I was doing that, really wanted to do it, but Dad built a bench for me, and I put a Lee, I think it was a Lee single lunger, just one time, and I would take it to the range with me, and I would load up individual loads. I'd only load 6 at a time because I would change in the bullet itself. I cast my own bullets, and I would roll the bullets, and if they would just roll on their own on a level table, there was something wrong. There was an imperfection in them. I would also weigh out the bullets, and I would weigh them out in lots. They had to be exact because the bullets that you come out of a mold, they're not going to always be exactly alike. But I would save the ones that were all alike, and those are the ones that I would load and shoot for for my personal competition, not in competition, because I was just trying to do it very precision. And I had a lot of fun sitting at the dump, not at the range, sitting at a dump down the street from here, and I would load up rounds and shoot them. Okay, I see where it all went, and then I would load up some more and change it a little bit, and then shoot those until I had things like I wanted it.
My father-in-law, he was real particular about his as well, but he had a room full of trophies. So I dispute his logic.
And then when you really get into the law enforcement, that precision stuff only counts if you're SWAT. The rest of it is, you put 2 rounds in center of mass and 1 to the face.
Well, guys, I didn't want to come right out the gate with it this morning. I wanted to have a little bit of pleasantry before we got to it. But,
okay, well, we've had it. Goodbye. What's up?
Did y'all have the catch the president?
I did not, because I'm going to ask Lee what happened last night, because I did not take the opportunity to watch it. So I'm glad you're on the line. So tell me what happened,
But
Lee.
Steve, I've not had a chance to look at the documents yet. Have you looked at any of them?
I have not looked at the documents
What
yet.
documents?
I'm gonna wait and see. Let some people go through them and get some preliminary reports, and then I'll go and target what their claims are and look at the documents myself.
Well, the president.
Right out the gate, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
By what he said, it was raw data, and that's problematic right out the gate. That means any claim anybody made before it's been verified or debunked. That's everything that comes across the tip line. So, y'all know, y'all get crazy people calling to y'all. Can you imagine what the FBI tip line is like? Yeah. But,
Okay,
this has to do.
I'm in La La Land here for just a second, as normal. This has to do with the voting, the 2020 election?
2020, yes, sir.
Okay, what documents are we talking
You ain't
about?
gonna like it.
Probably not. What documents are we talking about? It's the reason I didn't watch it last night. I was tired.
He says that there's, and I don't really want to explain it a lot because it's something I think is somebody should find out on their own. But anyway, he says that they have evidence that there was interference in the 2020 election by China and Russia and other countries. And then he went into how election is completely corrupt and crooked, and that we got to do something about it before the election in November.
So the
And,
2 years that he won, those were crooked elections as well.
The insanity is, here's the thing. He says the 2016 election, that was fair while the Democrats were in power.
Uh-huh.
But the 2020 election where he was in control, that was crooked. But then the 2024 where the Democrats were in control again, that one was fair. But now that he's in control again, it's going to be crooked. So even if you try to make sense out of it, try to be on his side, it's insane. He's saying that as long as he's in office, the election is going to be crooked. It's basically, he don't realize he's saying that, but that's the gist of what he's saying.
So, ma'am, sir, have you stopped beating your wife?
What?
That's the question here.
Uh,
Sir, have you stopped beating your wife? How do you answer that question? Yes or no? If you say, yes, I've stopped beating her, you just admitted that you've been beating her. If you say, no, I have not stopped beating her, then you say, yes, I am beating her. There's no way to answer some of these questions that, like you just
I've never
posed.
touched my wife. That'd be my answer.
Yes or no? Have you stopped beating your wife? It's a question that people
I know.
answerable when
Yeah.
there's an unanswerable question. That's the reason that they came up with that whole deal, because it's so ridiculous. But I have no way of dealing with what I don't know what he was saying, because I haven't. I didn't.
Basically, what he said was that the voting system is so broken and that no one can possibly defend it. He asserted that the U.S. election system was dangerously exposed to potential foreign hacking, including China. And he said he directed the White House to release a bunch of heavily redacted documents that report to show the vulnerabilities in the nation system. He made a lot of claims of voter fraud. And if you go on to whitehouse.gov go on to whitehouse.gov and go to election integrity, and a lot of those documents are supposedly being downloaded.
Okay, no, you said something, so let me get going before, and I should have interrupted you. But why is he going to release? He's told the White House to release.
They have
unredacted or redacted?
Heavily redacted.
Heavily redacted. Then that's not. I don't care about those. Show me the unredacted forms. Show me anything that's unredacted, and I will take a look at it. This thing is heavily redacted. Who could believe it? Why is it redacted?
Oh, the White House, the government website has crashed. But
he also made the claim that even though he was president, that the deep state concealed it from him and his administration.
Yes.
That was another claim he made.
Who's the deep state?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. The boogeyman. That's what he said.
I'm not going to say one way or another until I can see the documents and understand them.
I don't trust Russia. I don't trust China. I don't trust North Korea. How would they have gotten in? And show me the route that they got and what they did. Could they? Don't tell me that they could have. I know I coulda, shoulda, would. I can do a lot of things. Did I do them? Show me some evidence that I've done them. Anything.
Here's my gut feeling on it, and this is just my opinion, is that he is trying to use this as justification to deny the results in November if they don't go his way. If they actually had evidence, I don't know. I find it a little
now
concerning the way that they're revealing.
For 2 years, he's been in charge of the government, right? He's been in charge of the White House. He's been in charge of the federal government, right? Yep. He can fire people if he wants to get rid of them. And he's done so. But he's done so. And for 2 years, would he not have been able to at least turn loose of some individuals to go after some people to go after and show me the beef? Where's that damn beef? Show me the proof. Give me something. Don't give me heavily redacted documents. They don't mean anything to me. As a matter of fact, they mean exactly anything. They mean nothing. They're irrelevant. Show me.
Well, it means that you're only showing me what you want me to see.
I don't want that.
It does tell you that.
Well, until I see the documents myself, I'm not making judgment on how redacted they are and what I can understand from them.
He said they were heavily redacted.
That's what was in a report. But I have.
And I don't know either. And, you know, there's always a possibility there could be something there.
Right.
But, you know, I mean.
What then if there was, why didn't he say it?
I agree. He didn't make any specific claims all the way through it. It was all the same, you know, accusations without any specifics.
Mr. President, don't tell me what you've got heavily redacted that you don't know anything about. Tell me what you know.
Okay, look, I've posted the website just from the whitehouse.gov. I posted links on Facebook and YouTube. And what this covers is vulnerabilities in electronic voting and ballot counting systems, China's acquisition and exploitation of American voter data, Michigan voter registration investigation, and non-citizens on state voter rolls. This is supposedly, what has been heavily investigated by the Department of Justice and the FBI.
I have zero doubt that you're going to continue to find instances where people who voted should not have voted. Would every one of them times 10 have made a difference in the outcome of the 2020 election? It's as simple as that.
Well, and one of his biggest claims was that China had, he said they bought or hacked or stolen voter data. There's a lot of voter data that you can purchase, and it's perfectly legal. Just like we can look up voter data ourselves on any individual.
Yeah, I know what primary you vote in. I know what if you voted a primary. I know what even if you're unaffiliated, I know what primary you vote in. See, that's a key element.
Your voter history is
a lot of
online.
that is public. Public information, and anybody can
look up Steve's.
I know for a fact that you cannot vote as a registered Republican. You cannot vote in the Democrat primary. I know as a fact that you, as a registered Democrat, you cannot vote in the Republican primary. I do know that for a fact that you can vote in either, your choice, as a unaffiliated, and that way, that's what I can look up. That's the only data that's out there in a primary election that should interest anybody, either party, to be honest with you. Yeah. If you've got people, you will assume correctly that everybody who votes who's a registered Republican or Democrat will only vote, if they vote at all, they will only vote in that primary, right? Period. Your interest, if you are an analytical individual, your only interest should be in a primary, should be in what the people who are not affiliated, which ballots they got.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes any difference as far as analysis is concerned.
Right. Well, and the thing that stands out like a sore thumb is that according to Marco Rubio's Republican senatorial report, we had lots of interference from foreign countries in the 2016 election. He ain't got no problem with that. That was fine. You know, and the reality is as foreign countries have tried to interfere in our elections on some level ever since 1776. You know, I mean, they support candidates, or they, don't support candidates, or, they contribute money, or there's all kinds of things.
Or individuals contribute money, individuals who are registered, who are non-citizens. They can't vote, but they can influence elections by contributing money to one party or the other, or one candidate or over the other. I mean,
And
you know,
is that an issue?
is that illegal?
No.
Okay, then what's the story here? You want to make it illegal?
Right.
Then go ahead and make it illegal. Then we can
Right.
control it.
I think it's something that's worth addressing. I don't think it's something.
I don't like it.
Honestly, guys, and I mean, this is one that I know it's a hard pill for people who support Trump to swallow, but it has the appearance of that he believes the elections that him or the people he supports wins are legitimate, and the ones they lose are corrupt. And we're getting ready. He knows going into his 2026 election that it's most likely the Republicans are going to get their hat handed to them. And now all of a sudden, here he is busting out just a few months before we vote, trying to attack the election integrity.
And if he'd started this on January 21st, 2000 and whatever year it was he took office this time, 25.
This information is from January 2020 through June 2026.
Right. But
Yes.
it's only became an issue now. You know, this was something that as they learned, I mean, I don't know, I can go around about how it smells like pre-dead old fish, but, you know, the bigger picture is that we all know he claims, he never says he loses. He always tries to claim somebody cheated.
If you
And
will,
even in his speech last night, he said if they don't pass that,
Save
that,
America, yeah.
it's
America's,
because they want to cheat. He said it twice. He said if they don't pass it, it's because they're going to cheat.
if you will go back in history, and you know, and not every time, but if you go back to when you have a change of administration, such as a brand new president takes over in 2016 or whatever, they got a little bit of a grace period. People love them to death, and yada yada yada. And you may have you may have the House and the Senate and yada yada yada. You're seeing, right? But during the midterm elections, it's not unusual for that to change. Because during your period of time, people learn how not to like you, and that doesn't matter whether you are a Republican or a Democrat. It's not very often that people like you through the entire first term you're in office. Right? People find a lot of fault with you. Doesn't matter who you are. And then they vote accordingly. And therefore, there's a lot of times that the House or the Senate will change hands. And that's just the way it is.
Okay.
I agree. The problem is we got a president of the United States right now that seems to be trying to stack the deck in his favor. Like I say, I want to hold judgment as well, but I think if there was something in there that was significant, and like you say, showed me the meat, then that would have been at the forefront. That would have been the first thing they put out. Everybody would have had it to show this morning. All the conservative channels, they would give it to them to be broadcasting it this morning. And what they gave them was just a big mess of documents with unsubstantiated claims is what I'm getting so far.
Well, I would never hand to a bunch of people who are not experts, and that would include pretty much all of us in this country. I would never hand us a bunch of so-called raw data, heavily redacted raw data, and ask us to make chicken soup out of that chicken poop.
Right.
Because
evidently there must be enough of something in there for him to release, whether it's good or bad.
Then why didn't he say it? That's what he should. He is the one.
Maybe he did. Did you watch it?
No, but you said he didn't. He didn't
I didn't say that.
Somebody said he didn't come up with anything.
I did.
Nothing
Steve
definitive.
did.
He did not give specifics.
Yes.
He said he made a lot of claims, but he did not give a specific. This happened. They did this, and here's the evidence.
Exactly right. And he didn't make a lot of claims that his election loss was. Did not do that. He did make reference to it, but he didn't. I figured it would be, a lot of the other. But I went on last night to try to review some of the documents, and I couldn't get to them. It was just so heavy with traffic on it.
Right.
But
He said, and I quote, I'm sorry to interrupt. He said, and President Trump said, and I quote, "We've got to pass the SAVE Act because we can never let an election be stolen again."
well, you know what? I can't say. I know that we have a lot of issues with our elections. Whether they're aimed at one particular party or not, I can't say. I'm not up there. I don't have all the information. But yes, we do have issues. And we're going to talk about in a few minutes what North Carolina Board of Elections has done. But there are issues. Yes, there are issues.
Let me close here before we get over to that, because we only got a few minutes. But Steve, here's something. Who was the greatest showman in modern day television? Who was the greatest host for entertainment TV?
Johnny Carson.
Who is host for entertainment TV? Variety show, for instance.
Variety show. I'm drawing a little bit of a blank.
How about Ed Sullivan?
A different one.
Do you remember Ed Sullivan?
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I was in that era.
Okay.
I was in that era,
Here's
but I
the
couldn't quite
reason
do
that
now.
he was, and the reason that he gave, and others gave, and early on in his life when he started doing this stuff, you bring out the meat first. You bring out your best show first, your best elements first, and if they are good enough, you bring them back at the end of the show. If you can open and close with the same group, Beatles, in the beginning, Beatles, end. If you come out with something and build up to it, you are missing the opportunity. If you don't give them some guts to begin with, you lose. He never lost.
Yeah. Well, and here's the last thing I'd like to interject is where is the bullet points? Where's the press release for us to guide us to what to look at in this pile of documents that they
Go to whitehouse.gov. Go to the link I put on there.
all this and figure out what the evidence is.
Well, I'll try to look at it today at some point in time.
Right.
Maybe this weekend.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Maybe it'll rain.
I'm not
It
saying
might
none of
it
it's
might
true.
not, but when I was watching it last night, because I didn't get to
Send
watch
me a
it in
link.
real time, I was playing. I had to watch it when I got home last night, but I watched the entirety of it, and oh my goodness, well, this is hard. That's all I'm saying.
I think you should have had it in your ears last night while you were playing, like my wife was watching TV with something and listening to something and reading and listening to a book in the other ear. Holy crap. How do you do that?
I had me a good crowd out last night. I was at the Willy Nilly there in Swansboro Waterfront,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
and it started out slow. I could have counted the people there on one hand, and I was worried, but then by the time the sun started going down, it filled up. It was full, and I did good.
You notice the sun is going down a lot earlier, right? And coming up a lot later, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
I know it's going down early. I've
It's
not noticed
darker
it.
longer. It's darker longer.
Yeah.
Okay. We're headed for the
All right,
winter.
guys.
All right. Thank you,
I'm gonna
Steve.
get
Thank
off here.
you.
Y'all have a
Talk to
blessed
you
weekend.
next week.
All right.
Bye.
I sent you the link. You'll have to click on it. You'll have to read it and make your own assumptions. But he said that this has been, you're going to have to read it because I agree with some of what Steve said and I disagree with some of what he said. And yes, there is possibilities out there. Look, you know how IA is so easy now? AI.
IA is also pretty bad.
Thank goodness
It's
it's
bass
Friday.
backwards.
I mean, and you know how easy it is for people to hack into. I mean, look, I had $2,500 withdrawn from my checking account and sent to another bank, and
I
I'm
gave it
like,
back to you.
whoa. I mean, I got it taken care of, but it's just too easy these
It
days.
is.
And if you will go to the link I sent you by email, read it with an open mind. And that's the problem a lot of people have.
I don't have an open
You
mind.
have to have an open mind. It doesn't mean that you have to believe anything that you read,
I know.
but it's just, is it possible that this could have happened? Yes. Is it possible that your vote was hacked, Rayford, and went to somebody else? Can it happen? Yeah. Think about it.
I think it's possible that if I walked out in the back door here again
Right?
and I saw that bird that flew over,
You could
or
be pooped on?
the one that like that bird that just
Right.
flew over,
Right.
and if I was of a mind and I drew and I fired 11 rounds at that bird flying over,
Right.
there's a possibility that I'm going to hit it. The
I'm just
likelihood is
saying.
I'm going to miss.
I'm just saying, if there's vulnerabilities in our election system, we need to fix them.
I want to know specifics.
And you'll have to go on there and you'll have to read it and judge it for yourself. Keep an open mind. Forget that Trump's president. Forget that Biden was president. Have an open mind. But let me tell you what North Carolina Board of Elections
tell me
did
quickly.
yesterday. Okay.
They said they're disbanding.
Okay, no. New changes backed by the Republican majority in the State Board of Elections and opposed by the board's Democratic minority make it easier for election officials to reject people's excuses for not having required voter identification. They also make it easier to kick people out of polling places in addition to other changes. The board also plans to vote Monday on similar rules, making it easier to throw out mail-in ballots. The rules aren't immediately official. After approval by the Elections Board, they also must be approved by the state's Rules Review Commission, which also has a Republican majority.
Up the yin-yang.
Yeah. Elections Director Sam Hayes, who took over last year, I know Sam, after Republican state lawmakers gave the party control of the elections administration, has previously said he wants to focus on efforts to improve voters' confidence in election integrity. Of course, the Democratic members are feeling the opposite on that. But yeah, I watched that for a little while yesterday.
Why would the two parties, the leaders of the two parties, not come together on, like, okay,
because everything's
these are what your issues
control.
are. These are what our issues are, and then you could come to me and find out what my issues are, because I don't like either one of you. But if they would come together and develop a plan together that would benefit, that would not be fault, then they will save going to court, because this thing will never get out of court in time to go to even the November election this year.
I'm gonna put the.
It's going to be challenged up the yin yang.
So Tom said,
is this set up to be a challenging situation?
Tom answered the question right. Ed Sullivan. He said, and yesterday it was also mentioned on the federal elections there was over 278,000 non-citizens who were registered to vote in the federal elections. So that came
North
up.
Carolina?
No, federal all around. But I'm going back to Trump. But
In all states?
yes.
Okay.
You know, and look, I know any sane person, any person with any intellect knows that there are failures in our voting system.
Yep.
There are things that shouldn't be in our voting system. And there's been a lot of talk in the past years about our machines being hacked. I don't know. Haven't been there. Don't know. There's been a lot of talk. But can it be done? Yes. And I think Trump focused more last night in his speech on fixing the issues that can or maybe did happen. You have to be up to your opinion. You'll have to read it. Your opinion.
Just show me exactly what's going on. What is broken and why is it broken?
Well,
there's got to be some actual physical proof that this is a problem, right? Can it be a problem? Or can this be a problem? Can they do that? Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff. Then tighten up the close the gate, put a padlock on that gate. Don't let them through.
Voter registration in here. I'll have to bring one in one day. But if you go to fill out a voter registration, it'll say, are you a U.S. citizen?
Mm-hmm.
You mark yes. What if you weren't a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
Who's going to judge you? Who's going to know? And you fill it all out and you mail it in. We have non-citizens here that have North Carolina driver's license.
What got that? I know that.
We know that it's happened. So if you have
can they have them legally?
Well, if they have an employer who helps them get it, which that was a big story in North Carolina.
Is that legal for the employer to help them get a driver's license? Then why not arrest them?
But to think about the point I'm making, let's say you're from you're of the Hispanic nationality and you came into this country, you're not a legal resident, you're not a U.S. citizen, you go to work on a farm, and your boss says, hey, I'll help you get a North Carolina's driver's license. They do it. They go down to get the North Carolina driver's license. And then this guy goes and registers to vote. And he marks, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. He's already broken the law, but how do we know? Until he's actually caught. And they caught a bunch doing that, but I'm just saying there are loopholes in our voting system.
There needs to be screenings. That's not a loophole. That's an illegal act.
It's a loophole. We need to tighten it up.
A
It don't
loophole is
matter.
something that's
It's a
legal.
hole.
A loophole is something that's not illegal.
And speaking of voting, early voting starts October 15th here. We'll get all the details out for you.
No, it's not. It's being postponed.
If you will go out and
there's not
vote.
going to be early voting this year
Oh, don't
until
start that.
January of next year.
People thought that on primary. There's not going to be any. And who was it? John Kennedy, Senator John Kennedy, put out a thing yesterday that he thinks they should go back to one-day voting in
I do
person.
too.
Rayford, you'll be in line 20 hours.
No, you won't.
Yes, you will.
Open up enough voting places and you won't be. I mean, the biggest election that we ever had in this area was in 1980, whatever Reagan ran in, right? I stood in line for about an hour.
Our population has grown.
6:30. Well, then we put in more places to vote.
I just,
Mm-hmm.
okay, whatever.
Okay.
I'm open for early voting. But knock it down to like 1 week instead of this 14 days.
Yeah. Because those polls are quite often nobody shows up.
And I'm all for moving the municipal elections to the even years and save all that money. I know.
Save money.
Save money.
It's just government money. They can spend it
It's our
anyway.
taxpayers' money.
No. We willingly give it away.
No, I mean, why?
Oh, I'm sorry.
why
We
have
willingly allow
an
them to take
off-year
it from
election
us.
when you can throw it in with the even years? And it'll be kind of crazy at first having to divide the years up and everything. And
100 years.
somebody might get an extra year of term in.
100 years, who's going to know the difference?
But then you're going to have voter turnout too. Municipal elections, we have 4,000 people come out.
What do we got next week?
It's up in the air. It's up in the air. I have been talking to JPD though. So.
Right, we're working on getting the she's the interim
The interim chief,
interim police chief.
and also Lieutenant Smith, also Vanessa. She's been in here often, getting her in.
General Smith.
Yes, General Smith, but Vanessa.
Mhm.
And so we have a lot of things in the work. It's just vacation time for a lot of people.
Oh, they can't
So
take
much
vacations.
going on.
Not allowed.
And schedule me for 2 weeks from now. But it's okay. Good. We're gonna fill right back up.
We'll check. I'll check today with our friend Mr. Legato.
Yes. I just posted his link in our pages that we have open right now. He's got another new video out. His frauditor stuff. It's crazy stuff.
I love his stuff.
I love his stuff too. So I just posted the link to
I'm
his
just
YouTube
not
website.
sure how I would survive without violating everybody's
Right,
rights. Not
right.
everybody's rights today.
Yes.
They showed up.
Yes.
God, can you imagine? Jerry Reed and I would be cellmates
I love
because we would have
Jerry.
beaten somebody's sentence
Miss him.
who came on to us like that.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
His wife and I were good friends. She worked at the post office.
All right, we will see you on Monday morning. Y'all have a great rest of the day, and a gooder tomorrow, and a much more gooder on Sunday when hopefully it'll be raining.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll be raining.
And not till late in the day, but we're looking at some good rain over the next 3-4 days.
Yeah.
So gooder. We
Next
want
week I'm
gooder.
going to be in and out of here. I'm not going to be here all week long.
I need to know positively,
Well, I won't know. So you need to have some people lined up.
but I have to tell them when.
But,
I'm waiting on you.
Monday through Friday. We'll let you know which days. Robbie said she
Anybody wants to come in and help co-host, let
Robbie
me
said
know.
she was sitting with you as well.
Yeah.
I asked her when she was asleep last night. She said, yeah. Well, she didn't say no, so that's the same thing, right?
Right. Okay.
We'll see. Mike
Bye.
should be available too,
Okay.
don't you think?
I don't know. I haven't asked him.
Well,
but
call
I
him.
can call him and ask him.
Yeah.
And I've got somebody already in mind,
Well,
Jim,
good.
that I have talked to, but I've just been waiting. We'll take care of it. Anyway, everybody
It
have a
all depends
wonderful
upon the
weekend.
weather.
Y'all be careful on Western Boulevard this weekend.
Nah, I'm not going to be there.
Anywhere else, be careful at the beaches.
Yeah, and we still don't know who passed away, and don't know if it was caused from drowning or what. Did not pass away, did not die, was not dead on the beach, but somebody was pulled in by a bystander at Surf City over this past week, and was taken to the hospital and died in the hospital. Okay.
All right, everyone, have a good weekend and be safe.
You're live and local Real Talk, where we're awake, not woke, and this is going to be a satisfactual day.
And I do want to say we are live and local Real Talk.
Satisfactually Real Talk.
Bye.
Bye.